Hi guys, welcome to another video. Oh, sorry about my look this evening. Um, so today I'm just going to show you guys what the recirculating duck pond is going to look like, right? And I had to consult ChatGPT on that to know exactly how the recirculating duck pond will look like. And of course, we're not starting construction until next year. Maybe later this year, like in December or something. I don't know. I'm a lot busy, so I'm not trying to packing a lot of things into what I'm trying to do. So I'm a lot busy, right? All right, guys. Sorry. Don't mind this living mechanism trying to, keep whoever used this last from getting into my. Somebody is opening doors. Jesus Christ. You should let me shoot. What? All right, guys. We're talking about the recirculating pond, and I have some ideas, right? That would probably make a lot of sense for us to do. Because I've studied aquaponics for a while. Sorry, just scratch my nose on public TV. Jesus Christ, that would help us. Okay, so I've studied aquaponics for a while, and I've kind of understood how a recirculating system should work for fish, right? But now I'm trying to keep things alive inside the water. I'm trying to keep things, keep the water clean for the birds, so they always they can drink from it, they can eat with it, but they don't get sick, right? There's no germs building in from their feces or anything. Everything is backed up. And I kind of have an idea, but you know, ChatGPT to like really give me a general, bring everything together, kind of okay, what are we doing, type thing, right? So I went forward to ChatGPT. I'm going to show you guys in a moment how I did that. Um, and then it actually gives my ideas. The video is a bit long because I wanted to show you guys how long ChatGPT takes when it's not the premium. So guys, get the premium. This is not sponsored. I have to put saying this. Get the premium. It really, they're not paying me at all for this video, but it really helps to get ChatGPT premium. I'm not kidding, right? Um, they help me. It helps like put like a pictorial. I'm gonna put a pictorial video on top here so you can see. People are still opening doors and closing doors at this time of the day, but okay. Oh God, we entered. All right, the video keeps cutting, and I'm really sorry about it. Um, without further ado, let's get right into the video and see what ChatGPT gave us. Hi. Alright guys, so in my windows here, I'm just writing out the prompt. I need to design a recirculating dog pond with aquatic elements that I won't have to change often. What do you recommend? So I'm writing to ChatGPT. ChatGPT brought a bunch of stuff, right? It brought out that, oh, this is great news, blah blah. Says okay, design a reconstructing pond system that filters and uses water, minimizes odor and algae, completes aquatic plants and beneficial bacteria, requires minimal cleaning or water changes. So it gave me like a basic pond design layout. It's going to go from the dock area to the skimmer to the biofilter to the plants and fish section to a waterfall that returns back into the waterfall that returns back into the dock house, right? So everything just comes out looking smooth and sectionized. There's a lot of things that it gave. It says that there's going to be a dock pond zone. It gave the depth. It gave the how the flooring is going to be. I'm thinking of doing tiles, but to be too slippery for the docks and it's not like really makes sense. I'm thinking of what clay. Clay bottom too might also make sense, but the pond will be a bit murky. Then there is concrete that will probably, spoil after a while. I don't know. So the biofilter zone, the mechanical filtration, the skimmer, that's going to remove the dog poop and all those things, right? Then there's the biofilter zone where there's a large barrel, large container filled with lava rocks, bioballs, gravel, aeration stones, or even filter sponge layers that be able to sieve all the big particles, the huge particles, from the water, the dangerous things. And it's also going to have like where the plant and fish area is, where the plants can absorb the nitrates, um, any form of converted ammonia, right? So we have the waterfall return where the water just returns, aerates the water, and then returns back into the duck pond. I mean, I feel like this is supposed to be like an aeration method for the fish because the fish requires more air inside the water than the ducks. But the aeration does help the water, flow and then keeps it less stagnant. and then the fish also eats the larvae of mosquitoes and all those things that makes these still ponds very dangerous, right? So it talks about the pump and filter sizing, the aquatic ecosystem additions, that's floating plants that would help to convert these nitrates to useful energy to grow and stuff like that, right? Then talked about the types of fish we use, tilapia or goldfish. I was thinking of catfish, but tilapia is a long-lasting fish, which I've been looking for how to grow, right? There's going to be a recirculating system, and then it gives some maintenance tips on how to, maintain it and everything, right? It's you really just, try to help me simplify everything. I mean, I knew most of these things, right? I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but I didn't particularly know like exactly, like step by like I didn't know everything, together. Like how to bring everything together to make sense. Right. I wanted the fish and the duck to be in the same place. But I mean think about it. Wouldn't the ducks eat all the fish? Like when they are still very small? Right? So it makes no sense. So thinking about it, I can have like a fish pond that recirculates and the ducks can also have access to it, right? And there's any small fish that comes out from like a mating of the tilapia, although tilapias don't mate in captivity. But if it happens, right, then they will eat them, right? So okay, I got to the end and I wanted an illustration, right, which is pretty simple, right? So I just told ChatGPT I should go ahead and they give me that 3D illustration, right? Which would make so much more sense, right? So we can see what the vision ChatGPT is trying to bring out. So I told it, yes, please, let's have the 3D. Oh, sorry, the 3D. That's embarrassing. So the 3D plan, and then ChatGPT takes a while. Or like if it was the premium, right? It's instant. It's almost instant. But on the free, it takes a while. So like you guys just hang around, right? It's gonna be a little while. But ChatGPT is done, and okay, I'm just gonna stop this here, speed up this video because I don't want to put you guys through that torture. I'm sorry, I cannot do that to you guys. All right, I have so many people in the office disturbing me, and like it's really stressful. It's really stressful, right? Back to the video. While we're waiting for ChatGPT to generate something for us, I want us to just talk about something that I feel like is really, important for us to talk about. People are skeptical about eating duck meat. I feel like duck meat is a basic avian meat that everybody should experience, right? Most people abroad already enjoy it so much. Duck meat and duck eggs are pretty premium. In fact, there's a particular rich man food like called fog raw. Is it fog raw? Fog raw? Fog, fog raw. Well, I can't pronounce it properly, right? But it actually means fattened duck liver or something. I think they fatten the liver of the ducks and then you know I mean, there are ways to do it. The duck can actually get fattened liver from eating food, but it takes about 20 something years. So there's a faster way they do, which is not really legal in some countries, and it's really not healthy for the birds, and it's very inhumane, even if you're going to still eat it. But it's really expensive in the market. But Nigerians are, not privy to this type of information, right? Duck meat particularly is like a reddish meat. It is high in iron. It's very high. It is very high in protein, right? Uh, it's very tasty. It's very tasty. All right, ChatGPT has looked up something cool for us to look at, and I looked at the duck pond, and then it comes like a duck pond. There's a skimmer, there's a waterfall return, the plant and fish zone, which is really decent, right? It's cartoonish, but like me and you are going to see the vision. Like, we're going to bring it to life, right? And it makes a lot more sense. But after looking at it, I was like, the fish pond is too close to the duck pond, right? And it's not just too close; it's accessible to the duck, so the duck can literally just swim also in the fish side and mess it up. So I asked ChatGPT, all right, what would stop the birds from getting into the plant and fish zone? And ChatGPT was like, excellent question. And one that's easy to overlook. Dogs are naturally curious and will try to get into any water that they can reach, including your plant and fish zone. You want to physically separate that section while still keeping the system connected. Here are your best options depending on how natural or controlled you want it to look. Right? It says elevation or step separation, which means raise the plant and fish zone slightly higher above 20 to 30 centimeters above the top pond and return water via a small waterfall or pipe. Dogs won't easily climb up to it. This also improves oxygenation, right? Which makes a lot of sense. All right. So, yeah. Uh, yes, let's now take a look at what number two says, right? So we're going to scroll down a little. Number two here says barrier with decorative stones or bricks. Build a low retaining wall edge around 25 to 30 centimeters tall with rock bricks or landscaping blocks. Water can still flow through PVC pipe, connecting both zones underneath. Keep dogs but looks integrated, yes. So they have protective mesh or netting, like using the wire mesh or the chicken net to keep them outside of getting into where the fishes are, which makes a good amount of sense. Pretty decent. Please pardon the IDM expired license stuff that keeps popping up, right? So there's a dense plant barrier using aquatic plants to create a barrier so that the birds are not, inspired to go there. Then it's just a fish safety considerations. Like you're looking to keep tilapia and goldfish, ensure the pipe between the zones is screened with fine mesh to prevent fish from swimming into the dock area. Keep the flans zone water depth shallow to discourage dogs from jumping in as well. So if you say it says if I want to, I can generate a 3D version as okay, please go ahead, right? So I just told it like, Chadi, please go ahead and generate it. Okay. So after asking it to generate, it's going to take a little while. So while we're waiting for this one to be done, I sped up the video to 3 times. You may not notice it because nothing's really happening on the screen, but you can see the way the stuff is blinking, so it's pretty fast. So we're talking about duck meat and duck eggs earlier. So we spoke about the meat. Pretty good meat. Now, discuss about the eggs. The eggs are larger. They're white in color. They're larger than the chicken eggs. They have more omega 3, and they are higher in protein than the chicken eggs. They have a larger yolk content as well, which just makes it way better for baking, way better for you know, everything doesn't really involve direct eating, but eating it too is pretty good. It makes a mean omelette. I've tried it myself. It's pretty good. I'm hoping that in the future we're able to raise ducks as alongside chicken, so we can have something as an alternative to reduce the cost of eggs in the market because it's really high. ChatGPT did this for me. It's not that spectacular, but it's a duck pond. I mean, it's weird because it now involves me using glass, which I'm not still gonna do, right? But I like the design. I may do it eventually if I'm able to afford the glass, but I like the separations. I'm just going to put the duck pond within the duck sanctuary and then the fish pond out of the duck sanctuary. And I'll still cage this fish pond because we can have cats, we can have other birds, stuff come down to eat what we're managing. With that, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, and follow for more. Bye.